Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I'm Liz Quinn, your Star Scentsy consultant. So today what I have for you is my monthly melting basket for October, which of course is going to have a pile of pumpkins and then a wonderful bowl of apples and all the other good things when it comes to the different kinds of scents that I'm going to choose for what truly is my favorite weather of the entire year, as long as October is not unusually hot or super drizzly. So let's dive right on into all the wonderful festive fall picks that I've got in my melting basket, which is really a little box. First off, I do have quite a few wonderful pumpkin things here. We're going to start out with pumpkin chai. I love a good chai latte. I love a good pumpkin mocha type thing in the fall, and this scent definitely sends me right into that place of the wanting the boots and the sweater and sitting on the porch and sipping your beautiful festive fall drink. So this has a good amount of pumpkin spice, and then it's got the smooth creaminess from the latte. Sometimes when you start warming this bar, which at this point is something that was a Harvest Trio bar a long time ago, and then it got discontinued after it was in the catalog for a bit, sometimes it's going to have a little bit of a funny sour milk note right at the start of the melt, and then it smooths right out. It lasts a long time, and it's just a sweet, smooth pumpkin chai. So gorgeous. The next one I have here is current in the catalog, and this is one of the flagship scents for October, and that is good old Scary Good. This is a sweet, smoky butterscotch canned pumpkin and lots of spices smell. It's super saturated, it's a total boomer, and it's super fun. So this is one that I always like to include in my October basket. The next one that I have here is one of the ones that kind of got away from me when it was available. Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. I remember handing this out as samples to some of my best friends, and they were really excited about it, and I wasn't. So I gave almost all of my Warm Pumpkin Drizzle supply away that came in my consultant kit. The one or two that I had left sat around for over a year. Last fall, I put them in my warmer, and I was so frustrated at how good it was. It is a pumpkin scent that also has basically a pineapple upside down cake thrown in. It's really unusual. I always think of it as kind of like pumpkin meets Florida when it comes to baked goods scents, and it's really nice. And now I have a couple left from flash sale bundles, and I wish I had a whole bunch more. Another one that I've got here that's really good that is still in my club is a very nice scent called Everything Nice. This was a scent of the month many eons ago, and it has a really nice kind of caramely spice base. It's got lots of pumpkin and deep dark roasted nuts. So it can have a little bit of sort of a funky, squashy, deep dark scentsy pumpkin note. I absolutely love this bar though, and when you put it in the warmer, at least in my house, it smooths out, and it's just really roasty toasty with the pumpkin goodness, and I cannot get enough. And it really is Everything Nice, at least to me. The next one is a fan favorite, and that's going to be good old Pumpkin Cinnamon the Swirl. This is also in the catalog, and at the moment I couldn't find my bar. I did just order a couple in my last harvest haul. A brown butter pumpkin, that is current in our new catalog, and it is a new release, and that is probably the best all-purpose pumpkin scent. It's so nice. So if you don't like some of the ones that you're seeing here today and you're thinking about ordering pumpkin, definitely try that one. But Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl is another one that everybody always likes. It's not at all offensive. People just think it's great, including me. It's a nice, strong, sweet pumpkin sticky bun type bakery scent. It throws well. It's really pleasant, and it's one that just comes back year after year. Another one here, which is a little bit more controversial, but is in our current catalog, is the Deeper Forever Fall. This was part of our 5-bar bundle for Harvest last year, and I'm so glad it's in the catalog this year. This has a saturation to it that's even deeper than Scary Good, if you're familiar with that bar. This has sweetness, and it's definitely a baking type scent, but it's deep. So good. Almost as though you were making the bowl of pumpkin pie filling, but you hadn't poured it into the crust yet. It's kind of what you get with this. I love it. So nice, and throws very well. Okay, next one that we've got here is Pumpkin Cashmere, and this is a scent that was last year's October scent of the month, and I did stock up on a whole bunch of these because I learned my lesson with Warm Pumpkin Drizzle. That often the October scent of the month doesn't seem to be the most popular, but after it sits for a few months, it's always so good. This year it's going to be the Vanilla Chestnut. We'll talk about that later in this video. That's another one where It's a bar that will be better after it sits. I am absolutely confident. I love it now, but I think it'll be even better in a few months. Anyway, this one was last year's. Pumpkin Cashmere has a sweet pumpkin note. It has a really nice sort of roasted pine cone note. And then it has this cashmeriness. So it sort of goes between a little bit of body care and a lot of cuddly, fresh fall pumpkin. Beautiful. I cannot get enough of this. I melt a lot of this bar. And now we're going to transition over to apple. Caramel apple craze is just the happiest smell. I love this. My younger daughter loves this. It's a perfect trick-or-treating type scent with equal parts of fresh, beautiful, red delicious apple and creamy smooth vanilla caramel. And it grows like crazy, and it's really, really good. It's a good mixer too if you wanted to add some spice or something, although the new salted caramel cider that's coming out in Brix on the 14th, and you can add a bar to club, that is an amazing scent too. It just isn't quite as sweet and perfumey as some of the apple scents that are in this collection here that I've got in my melting basket box. The next one is one of Elizabeth's top 25 of all time, Autumn Road Trip. This is a bar that is very me. I love this. It's apple, it's pear, it's towering silver oak trees. It is beautiful. And it is a fresh, fall, bright, crisp day. You have to try this if you have not. I love reading comments of people that have been scared to try that bar and they get it and then they just cannot believe they've wasted all these years not melting it. Another one here, which I'm coming around to, is Dutch apple bread. This is one that I didn't like all that much when we had our 5-bar bundle last year. Because there is a note in this that you have to get used to, because you're thinking apple bread. You're thinking sweet, kind of doughy, kind of maybe cinnamon, and oh gosh, I can taste that wonderful apple bread that you put in the toaster and it's got like the cinnamon swirl and the melty icing on the top. That's what I was thinking. This is almost more like an oatmeal-y, kind of savory bread that you put some butter on and then have that with, I don't know, your roast chicken dinner or something. But it's a really homey scent. So if you take sort of that oatmeal-y note, you take an apple note, you take just a little bit of a bread note, not too much, it's not too savory, and you put all those together, you get this. And I just put a couple more in my next club shipment because I think that that's my last bar, and I will melt through that and definitely want at least a couple more for backup. Bright Cider Life. This is a bar I regret so much not putting in my club, thinking it would come back that next fall, winter. This is beautiful. Comparing it to, say, the Caramel Apple Craze or our new Salted Caramel Cider Brick, this is sweeter, this is more perfumey, this is very much like having a cup of warm cider and a crumbly donut all at the same time. I love it. Okay, next one here is Toasted Apple Butter. This is a very dense and saturated scent that's actually going to be in our Scents of the Season coming up. It was a Bring Back My Bar a little bit ago. This is an extremely warm, heavy scent. Would probably be very good in alternate warmers with Forever Fall if you just wanted to go as decadent and as heavy as you could for fall bakery. So it's got a true butter note, whereas apple butter frosting is more like a whipped icing type thing. This has a buttery note. It has a deeper, very saturated apple. If you've ever had apple butter on a piece of toast, you know what I mean. And then a bunch of spices. So I'm looking forward to having this in the holiday Scents of the Season collection, although I would really consider it more of like a late fall bar. It's really, really nice. Okay, now here is a new one that leans more fresh. This would be very good. What would I put this one with? This would be really good with like a cedar cider or maybe a first day of fall. This is Leaves and Lavender. And of course, you could totally melt this with Provence Lavender, which I think is still available. It was a scent of the month a few months ago. I think that was July. Oh, this is such an unusual bar. It smells more lavendery up front, and then it's got all the leaves, all of the cinnamon, all the woodsiness. You put it in the warmer, and it gets more cinnamon and woodsy, not to a point where it's choking. It's not like Leaves from Bath & Body Works. It's just amazing. This and the Brown Butter Pumpkin, I mean, there are so many of the new releases this year that I cannot stop talking about. They're all very impressive to me, but this is one of the top ones. So good. So, like Autumn Road Trip, if you're avoiding this because you're scared, just try it. It's amazing. Okay, another thing that I have here, which is a bar that I typically will pair with Heavy Bakery, Buckleberry. This was in my club for a long time. I tend to melt this in August a lot with, say, maybe French toast or almond croissant, or there are a couple of others. But I just was feeling like I was going to want some spiced berry scents for October this year. A little later than normal, but I'm just in the mood. This is a great scent that comes back occasionally and bring back my bar. Now that we have the 5-year rule, I bet it'll be a while before we see it again, and I've still got 3 or 4 of these. It's super saturated. It has heavy berries, like late summer berries, but then it has this little kiss of spice, and because of the saturation level, it's really, really good for a cold fall day too. Really, really nice. Okay, now we're going to go to one of the best fall bakery scents of all time. It's a cult classic that's in my quarterly club, and that is Sweet Plum Pastry. This is a scent that a cozy, kind of medium chilly fall morning. It doesn't have to be super cold and crisp like I'd want it to be to melt autumn road trip. This is just a scent that speaks comfort. Any time of the year. It'd be great on a rainy day in the summer, but this has bubbly plum juice and crust. It's just gorgeous. And I'm so happy it's in my quarterly club. It'll never be coming out. I don't necessarily reach for it often, but when I have a craving, that is a bar nothing else will fill that spot of. It's so good. Now here's another one that I sort of gambled on. I kind of knew it wasn't coming back, and I have a few. I didn't club it. That is Blackberry Spice. This will go with the Buckleberry. And this is a little woodsier. Buckleberry is more just straight berries with a pinch of spiciness and a little bit of bakery. This is cedar, blackberry, and a nice fall complexity. It's a warm and very cuddly scent, very inviting. And when I run out of the bars that I have, I'm going to kick myself that this is not in my club. This is a good one. Now here is a bar that is only an October bar. I just can't see melting this any other time, and that is Ghostly Greetings. This was a scent of the month a while ago, in September. Oh gosh, I don't even remember what's in here. It's kind of incensey, it's dark, it's deep berries, it's a little spooky. It is so strong, and it's really good, and it's totally for October. All right, now here come a few of my favorites that get into that very decadent and saturated deep fall type scent profile. Maple Apple Bourbon. This is another chilly day scent. Maple, apple, and bourbon in equal proportions. Sweet and beautiful. It would be great with cider mill. It would be great with Bright Cider Life. This would be really good with toasted apple butter. It would be good with toasted acorn and oak, which I'm going to get to when we get to some more slightly woodsier scents. So good, you guys. I love that one. Then we have Cedar Cider. Now, this is an October and November melt for me. This is one of those old school classics that you have to try it. It's so good. It's got wonderful apple. It's got vanilla bean. It has cedar branches. It's got some harvest spice. It's just phenomenal. So good. This would probably be good with leaves and lavender too, actually. And then good old Hemingway is a bar that I throw in so many melting baskets just because I love it. This is an apple spice masculine scent with a lot more wood, and it's just beautiful. So to go with that is another super intense scent that I have had in the past. Last year, this was a new scent of the month, and they didn't bring it back, but I have quite a stack, and that is Fall Feelin'. This is for another cold, glorious, crisp day, almost where you're to November, really. This is Juniper. It's got blood orange. It's got deep, like, autumn woodsy funk. Love it. And it's super strong. I think a lot of people found it offensive, but I just can't get enough of that. Okay, so now going in another direction of sweet and spicy, Cozy Chai. I just melted this a few days ago. There is just nothing better than this bar. This is one of my top 3, truly, of all time when it comes to I'd melt this anytime, anywhere, any time of the year. I know it's a fall spice bar, but I just love this. Where the pumpkin chai, I would really want to do that just in the fall. This one is just the nicest, creamy caramel spice inviting homey scent. It is so good. And people that didn't even think that they would like this, when they've gotten them in flash sales, they've texted me or messaged me and said, you know, Elizabeth, you were right. That is an amazing bar. Maple Vanilla Glaze. This is so strong. 2 years ago, now this weekend, my husband and I are going to go on a marriage retreat, very much like the one with our church that we did a couple years ago. Same church, different hotel, but same setup. I had the holiday trio, because at that point we weren't doing 5 bar bundles. We were doing trios in our collections. And this was one of those bars I took it to the hotel having no clue how it would perform, put this thing in the warmer. Greg and I went to one of our sessions, I think one of the morning sessions on Saturday for our church retreat. We come up the elevator to our floor, open the doors. I look at Greg and I say, I think that's the Scentsy wax that I put in our warmer. And I mean, our room is down the hall. And this thing was everywhere. So if any of the rest of you still have maple vanilla glaze, you know this is a boomer. And thankfully, it smelled a lot like French toast and donuts and coffee. So nobody knew it was Scentsy. They just thought somebody had a great tray of breakfast up there. Oh, this is so good. I did take it out of my club because it's so decadent that you only melt a couple a year. But wow. You want to talk about a sweet, saturated, beautiful bakery and very much confectionery scent. This is that bar. Okay. Now, another one that I love that's great for the middle of the fall is Toffee Butter Crunch. I get one of these from my mother-in-law occasionally. This is another one I took out of my club. This is beautiful buttery toffee with walnuts. I'm melting it today in alternate warmers with warm pumpkin drizzle, and they're both bars that I sort of hoard because I only have a few. So good. Best toffee scent Scentsy's ever made. Silly me took it out of my club when I was doing a budget crunch thing, but thank God my mother-in-law will never get rid of it in hers. Frosted Cinnamon Roll. Here's another one. This was a September scent of the month a couple years ago. Really, really nice. And I'm sorry, my voice is going again. Just very sweet. Where Pumpkin Cinnamon Swirl is definitely more pumpkin forward. This is similar, but just a nice, smooth, sweet cinnamon roll. Really pleasant, homey scent. A little bit on the caramely side in a good way. Okay, this is this month's October scent of the month for this year. Beautiful vanilla chestnut. This really, I would almost put in the November melting basket, but I want to melt it both months. It's so good. It's just the loveliest mix of roasty chestnut, a nice vanilla-y perfume, and a little bit of a woodsiness with some spice. It's just beautiful. Love it. And this will go beautifully with Toasted Acorn and Oak, alternate warmers, late October when it's getting really cold and I'm thinking November. This is in my club. Will never be coming out. This is the nicest balance of chestnut and wood and nuttiness. It's sort of like a log cabin too. It's perfection. Love that bar. All right, I've got a few left here. I do have a good old Painted Leaves, which is a bar where I put it in the basket and then I argue with myself whether I really want to smell this because it's so strong. It's like you took Sweater Weather from Bath & Body Works, but then you added more sharpness. And this thing is a beast. So, again, cold, crisp, end of October day, maybe I'll put this in my warmer, or you'll see it again in my November basket. But this is a classic that hasn't been back in a while. It was in a BB&B a couple summers ago, I think. I grabbed like 6 of them, and because I might melt half a clam in a year, those are going to last forever. This is another one that's in our catalog that is fantastic. This is White Pumpkin and Driftwood. This is great for October. This has amber, solar driftwood, cardamom, and more of an outdoorsy white pumpkin essence. Fantastic bar. If you haven't tried it, you have to. I put it in here to hopefully remember to direct mix with Forever Fall, which my friend Robin likes to do. Fantastic. Okay, now I got a couple here where it will just depend on my mood. I don't know whether I will melt these this month, but the Endor Forest bar, I've been melting it on and off ever since they put out the Star Wars collection this spring. This is just a really nice woodsy foresty scent that's kind of sweet. It's definitely got eucalyptus and pine, but it's not Christmassy, so it would be perfect in the fall. And then I don't know if I'm going to try this, but I kind of want to melt this again before I were to do a November order in case I like it better. Alpine Escape, I haven't said much about from our new release collection in the catalog, because I'm not sure if I like this that much. I love the balsam spice. I've already reordered that several times. But I think I might need to melt a couple bars of this just to see if I want more in November and December. That's more of a minty and sprucey type outdoorsy scent that's new. The balsam spice is a lot more holiday, hearth and home and cozy, and of course you know I'm going to go that direction. But I wanted to try that again. And then for a day where I don't want pumpkin, I don't want apple, I don't want woods, I don't want spooky, I just want cozy. Good old beautiful cashmere and corduroy and cozy cardigan. These are both in our catalog. These are really good fall cuddly scents that people tend to overlook. And it would be such a tragedy if we don't buy enough cashmere and corduroy that it stays in the catalog. I always club it because I couldn't live without this bar. But this is Sicilian bergamot and a beautiful cashmere corduroy scent. You guys have got to try this. Just like Autumn Road Trip, when people have resisted buying that and they finally do, they always write me like, oh my gosh, you were right, it was amazing. And then Cozy Cardigan is really the only bedroom scent that I'm going to put in this melting basket. And this is just the loveliest. Suede, amber silk, just kind of cuddly sweater, gentle scent that thankfully keeps coming back every year. And it's very elegant and it's very fall without being in any way woodsy, outdoorsy pumpkin or apple. So this is a lot. You know I won't get through all of these, but I love talking about them, and this gives me a focus to at least try to get through half of this along with all the other things that'll be coming down the pike. I cannot wait to try that gingerbread cheesecake bar. If you guys haven't heard about it, I'm going to talk more about that in my next video, which is going to be the what I've been warming for the week, and I'll kind of catch you up on a bunch of news. But this was the melting basket for October. Tell me what you guys are absolutely loving right now that you would put in your melting basket on purpose, or what are you trying to use up that you can't stand, but you're putting it in your melting basket because you just need to get it gone. So I would appreciate comments on those things. Have a great day, guys. Thank you for an amazing September. It was a really good one and very encouraging to me as a consultant, and I love meeting new people. Thank you to some of you who have chosen me recently as your consultant. I am very, very blessed. Have a great day, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.